Hey, welcome back to the Rambling Rogue Show. I'm your host, Rambling Rogue, aka Gyres Rogue, and I'm getting blunted. Thank you for tuning in. If you're here, if you're not, I hope you do stop by one day. That's literally extended to every person on planet Earth. But I hope you're well. I'm feeling okay. Got some good logic bumping. Logic, knowledge. Nothing against logic, but that is not logic. Anyway, yeah, man. Back here to just talk shit. Give my 2 cents on things. I got an open door that I could let the air out. Let a little bit of that stank out. And it's been a week. It's been quite a week. I'm gonna feel out how comfortable I am in talking about it, but I can say that it has been a week. It's been one of those weeks that makes you kind of look at everything you do in your life like, have I hit the rock bottom? Have I hit a point of I'm doing too much? I've been making some decisions, let's just say, in my sexual partners who that I think are too flippant. And I got into a situation. I got into a situation wherein, yeah, I was basically trying to mess with somebody who, I don't think I should have because they were older and because I knew them through something that I was trying to do for my betterment, and I feel like it was going to make the entire dynamic weird. And I mean, even if it wasn't, I'm weirded out. I'm weirded out. And so this is going to have to be this is something that I'm going to have to battle, like, going forward, like getting into, I guess, relationships in either workplace or a setting wherein I'm trying to be charitable or anything like that. I'm very uncomfortable. I found out through this past week, basically, just, yeah, that's all it is. Somebody who's high up in some work, and some, kind of whatever, and then no, but like a little bit of that. And it's just I think I just had to pump the brakes because I had to remember who I am. I am a legitimate I'm a case. I'm a piece of work. I tend to have more control over my behavior, I think, when I'm exercising and I'm clearly working towards my goals. And this week I was really close to veering right off the road and not being on that path. So, I'm glad for myself. I kind of I kind of just pumped the brakes and I'm just realizing and remembering that, hey, I'm not invincible. I'm not invisible. I'm out here. People can see me, and I can die. And I don't mean to be morbid. There's nothing crazy like, that was threatening my excuse me. my health or my well-being in what I was doing. Excuse me, while I choke on this grabba leaf. But it's good though because I also got my blood test back. The doctor said that I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm cooling. Doctor said that I'm cooling. He said, "Yeah, man, your blood work came back. Your blood work, and you good, man. You good." It's like, you know what I'm saying? No, actually, I shouldn't say that. Why did I say this? No, okay. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I did not mean that, but I felt it in the moment. It was kind of fun. But Free Young Thug, Free Young Thug, and Gunna and the YSL crew, all them guys. I really hope that whatever they're being alleged to have done, they didn't do, and that the evidence finds in their favor that that's exactly exactly that. But yeah, free them guys. Sheesh. I mean, talk about a Job story. You going from absolute riches, mansions, fastest cars in the world, whole bunch of girls, and then a box, a sweaty box, where you talk to limited people, and most of the time it's men. It's like, damn. Anyway, that's morbid, man. I'm not here to be talking about the morbid stuff, or maybe I am. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm just rambling, just talking. I just yeah. I definitely don't want to focus too much on this week's actions. I was just too much of a wild boy. Excuse me. Too much of a wild boy. Just kind of too out here a little bit. There becomes a point where you just got to go, okay, hold up. I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. And I reached that when I woke up and I realized, damn, am I really about to try to be kind of on my like little finger? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Game of Thrones. I'm about to be out here on my little finger. I'm about to be out here on my like sniveling, like using my, you know what I'm saying? My ways with the women or lack thereof to gain power. I don't know, man. I just felt weird. It felt weird. It felt weird, and it was a strange thing because it was like I didn't expect any of these feelings to pop up, but I just felt weird. So moral of the story, pick your partners wisely and don't do it while you're horny, especially not while you're driving 80 on the 10 and you're horny and you want to bust a nut. Don't hit up the don't just don't get out of pocket. Like you got to stay in pocket. You got to stay in some kind of capacity of reasonable. What I mean by that is, I mean, man, I don't know. I feel like just my sexual, like the first girl I ever kissed, really, like made out with. Salute to dude. She is now a he. And salute to dude. Salute to dude. But it's like, even the story behind that, which is it's a bad story. It's a bad story. I think it's filled with bad omens, and I think it leads to I'll just tell it. So okay, my brother, my dear twin, my bro host, co-host with the mo host, you know what I'm saying? And Dubby. This guy's talking to this girl and they're getting close, and eventually, once as they start getting close, she starts coming around our sort of group of boys, and she's kind of picked apart a little bit. I mean, I will say it was not only me that was kind of nipping at her. And I won't get into naming who or whatever, but just now that I think about it, yeah, like it wasn't only me that I was just out here, just I mean, cause I mean, it's just you're tossing meat to the sharks, and so yeah, some time goes by and she's still kind of close to Nigel, but yeah, I start cozying up as well and start texting, start having some long conversations. Plus, we had a little history from some club outing in the past or something like that, I think. Anyway, um, long story short, I ended up meeting up with her, linking up with her. I'm in the car, we're making out. This is like, towards the end of the year, probably like right before graduation or something like that. And then, or right before the last day of school. And I actually were making out for quite a while, and she doesn't want to have sex. And I'm like, okay, cool, cool, whatever. But then I'm like, yo, is it cool if I just put you on your back? And I don't know if I said it or if I just kind of did it or whatever, like kind of motioned. But she goes on her back, and everything's fine. But then once I kind of like start like basically start maybe kissing down towards her stomach, she has this reaction. And this she was a she at this time. I'm not trying to I'm trying to say for the person who is a he now, uh, so I'm not misgendering. I'm just trying to keep the story just to the story. But yes, I'm not trying to misgender. I just want to state that. But anyway, he I could even state he going on. It just feels weird. But anyway, he okay. Now it feels funny that I'm going to state he for the rest of the story. But anyway, he gets out of the car and then starts throwing up. And starts throwing up and says that like they had an experience as a child where somebody got on top of them in that similar way. They were reminded of that and they had a visceral reaction. My dumbass stargazed by just kissing a girl. I'm like 17 at this time. I'm literally like, yo, can we keep going? And she says no. And at that point, I then take her home, and yeah, I then proceeded to lose my mind and like kind of weirdly curse her out. I deeply apologized for it though. Even after she blocked me, I got another account and then I apologized again because I felt like the first apology was not sufficient enough. And then she had an impression that she at the time, but he had an impression that my friends and I did not like her, which was not the truth. I legitimately was just out of my mind. I legitimately was just bonkers. 18 years old, and I experienced a manic breakdown of just yeah, no, I'll just put a full stop on that. There's no qualifiers or anything. I experienced a manic breakdown, and I don't want to say that justifies anything that I did, but I was at a state where I was hearing music that I liked from other people's cars, and I was like very scarily kind of dancing and like vibing and even ducking my head into cars, nearly getting into fights, just narrowly. I don't know how I didn't get socked out or something like that. I really don't. Um, it's a deep story, but yeah, it goes as far as like, yeah, I was even panhandling on the street for a little minute. But the point is, I got help, uh, and I got taken care of. Salute to the American healthcare system. I know a lot of people talk shit, but when you do got insurance, salute. And I'm not trying to say like, the people that don't have insurance should just suffer, but I'm saying That's the fact of it. You know, when you do have insurance, it's you not all the time, but you can get away with some good health care. Not all the time though. I also have to put that caveat. But anyway, the point is there is no point. Uh that was one of my first sexual encounters. And there were bad omens in it, I believe. I believe there were bad omens in that my brother was kind of feeling up and liking on a girl, and then there's that kind of like, you know, swipe or no swipey, and then there's, you know, it's just like, it's just weird. Like, it's just like, okay. Then the throw up, which, yeah, yeah, it was a bad omen that I think is, at least in the, because I was 17 years old, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That was 6 years ago. Yeah, the past 6 years, it's been just like nothing but uh some. I mean, oh, no, and let me not just state that like I've been out here making all terrible decisions and just being a whore. No, I've had my fair share of scraps and scars. You know, nothing permanent, but it's just, yeah. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, because I've had good moments, man. Like, I had a couple cool little, okay, like I did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had a few of those, but these are definitely times and instances. And you know what's sad? Nah. Because the second chick I got with, not the first one though that I lost my virginity to, but the second chick I got with was cool. She was dark skinned. She was cool. She was cool. You know what I'm saying? I want to say her name so bad. I actually would like to have her on this podcast. I would like to ask her if she would like to be on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? That is the homegirl for sure. Uh, and I'm like, you know, TMI going crazy, but you know, it's for the content. Yeah, nah. The second chick I ever had sex with though, like the second chick, she was cool. She was dark skinned. And then there was one that I really felt like, okay, I could really do something with this, but I messed that up terribly, and I didn't even get with another chick. I think I just got scared about being with somebody, like actually being with somebody, and I imploded it. I just I really need to go to therapy. And I need to stop doing a podcast to know people. But if know people becomes one person, I mean, hey, that's an audience. I mean, that's something. I mean, you gotta know, man. I mean, like, everybody's got to start somewhere. So there's always that. But anyway, yeah, I've made some crazy decisions in my sexual life, and my first one, my first major one, really, with that girl, who is now a guy. Salute to Duke. Uh, and I bring that up so I don't misgender. I really was trying not to misgender. So if I did, and when I did, I apologize. But the point is there's no point. I'm here. So my high school friends planned a Vegas trip, or were planning a Vegas trip, are planning a Vegas trip. It's a group of us. It's the same group I was talking about in the story that Nigel, my brother, brought this girl, you know, around us and had, you know, basically we were all nipping at her. Okay, whatever. Not all, but a select couple of us. Maybe just me and somebody else. Yeah, but anyway, hmm, no, two or three of us. It was three of us. Yeah. Anyways, they're planning a Vegas trip, and I think well, first things first. I defended another friend on getting them on the trip. I heard about a dispute that friend had with somebody else in the group, and I was like, okay, well, this is dumb, so let's get it handled. And we got it handled. I mean, it really was easy. So easy. I should have hit an easy button. And after that, my dispute comes along, wherein, and this was a dispute that I'm going to tell the story. So, and I initially was not invited, or I initially was, let me just say, I wasn't aware that this outing was going to take place. Okay? It was in the group chat that I can be in, but I wasn't in for a long time because, honestly, the group that I'm in, I mean, they do things like this, and then, well, okay. So let me tell the story. And just because, let me just give some reason on why I'm not in the group chat of my boys. It's like, I love y'all, right? And if I do love y'all, I'm going to hit you guys up individually, whoever I do love in the group, right? Because, number one, I don't love everybody in the group equally. I do love everybody in the group, but it's just for some people, we've learned over time that, okay, well, there's limits and bounds to how our relationship can go before we start getting pissed off and angry at each other. I'm not sure if anybody could relate to this, but in my friend group, I just feel like for certain people in it, it just sometimes like maybe we get together for too long and then, tempers start to flare. So if we, my thought is okay, maybe if we go out on vacation or do something like that, keep vibes good, we could bypass a lot of that. We could bypass a lot of that when we're doing fun things, kind of like gaming or whatever, what have you. But whenever we get into conversation, philosophy, ideals, whatever, whenever any of that shit comes up, that's when I'm starting to butt heads with some of these individuals in my friend group. So the point I'm trying to make is, anyway, back to the story. So, okay, I'm not initially invited to this group, but I see that it's in the chat. I enter my hat into the ring, and then we have a party chat on Xbox, where we're talking and whatnot. Xbox party chat, it's basically like a phone call if you don't know. And so it's a live group call. And so I pitched some ideas like, okay, well, we should have some certain amenities. Like, number one, everybody should get a bed, not necessarily a room, but there's about 10 of us, and everybody should get a bed so that in the event, if we need to either delegate a certain amount of beds to one room or whatever have you, we can. And we can do so comfortably so that if we delegate those beds, at least a person will be using it, and then everybody else can have a bed. And also, I was just stating that just for like, okay, well, so yeah, I stated that everybody should have a bed. And I'm stating that, hey, we should get something that's, as cheap as possible and with that accommodation. That's really pretty much it. And the rooms that were initially being presented actually only had beds of up to 8. And I'm like, we even have a possible 11th person coming, in somebody who's not necessarily, quote unquote, in our group, but is a family member. So we could all kind of say like a family friend or like a friend of one of our friends' family. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So we have a possible 11th person coming to the group. Do we really want to have an 8-bed situation? Like, that would just be lame. Like, why are we going to go out on vacation and leave all of our individually manned beds so that we could get into a situation where maybe, okay, we're camping. I can see it. Like, okay, you're doing a situation where it's like, you're kind of in the mix of it. Okay. But we're going to Vegas. But what the issue was in the bed thing, and this really was the crux of the big argument that initially started, because we're planning the party, and the bed thing came up. And the crux of the whole argument just comes down to people are going to Vegas in the group for different reasons. But I would say a majority, or at least about half of the main 10 people in the group, me, okay. Yeah, about 4 or 5 of us are going for pussy. And then the rest, I guess, are just going to celebrate and just be in Vegas. Now, if pussy's on the table, I'm like, I'm not. See, this is the thing. It's fucking Sin City. Like, you go out, I don't know, some hangover shit could happen. I don't know, some crazy shit. Like, not too crazy. Like okay, whatever. Shots fired, whatever. But like, oh shit, some 3 or 4s. Like, she's kind of looking nice. Okay, get a condom. Like, okay, whatever. The price is whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, we're here. Okay, like, I'm just saying, like, a little bit of that, and then a little bit of gambling, a little bit of, and then shoot, maybe off the organic tip, you just gambling, you see something nice, boom, we have an Airbnb. I'm just saying, there's a lot of opportunity, and I just felt like we really ought to be ready for that. And there were even places with beds that had more that had more beds than we needed, and were cheaper. But I got pushed back on it initially, and we finally settled on one place that actually had all the beds that we wanted, but we ended up waiting on it until the end of the month. But then in the middle of that waiting, which is pretty much what would you call, but in the middle of that waiting, doesn't matter. In the middle of that, we figure out that, Day in Vegas is going to be on the same weekend that we plan on going. So, okay, Day in Vegas is a big old festival. Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, whole bunch of other big names are going to be there. These Airbnbs are going to get booked up. And apparently, the Airbnb and I never got confirmation of this, so I was very skeptical of this. But apparently, the Airbnb that we had all agreed on, everybody initially, that we had all agreed on, and there was a price set and everything, that one got booked up. Right? Also simultaneously with the news that Day in Vegas was going to be apparently in Vegas on the same weekend that we were going. So, okay, cool. That one apartment, that one Airbnb is out. But can we find another accommodation that fits the prior preference? And then this is where I get the pushback that basically just made it to where I'm just like, bro, like, this was kind of just the straw that broke the camel's back. It's one of those kind of situations, and it's like, it is what it is. I mean, people grow apart, people are people. And I don't think that it necessarily was this situation that kind of made all of us, or at least me and then the other parties that I'm having issues with, the 2 other people that I'm having issues with, and then really the group at large. It's like, okay, there's a hive mind in being inside of like a high school friendship sort of group. A hive mind that, of course, the cliche, you can just put it on the crabs in the bucket thing, but it's like, this hive mind does require that we sort of stay on tone and topic about life at large. When at least when we come to the group, you could be doing whatever you're doing as an individual, but when you come to the group, it's just going to be, this is how we operate as the group. And it's how we've always operated, and it's how we will operate. And so when you push back against that, at least when I've always just been seen as like the crazy guy, in terms of nobody's sticking up and saying, well, hey, he's right, and that's actually kind of true, and if they do, it's small and in few between, and it's always an excuse of it's so many messages, and you guys get going in there, and you can't really get a word in. And I understand that kind of to an extent, but at the same time, it is just a text chat. It's not like it's hurt. I don't know, like, it just seems so easy. You could just put the message there, and even if nobody read it, I mean, that's unlikely. Like, that's just so unlikely that nobody would read, like, the off person who's not in the, like whenever does the moderator, unless they're just, see, that's the only thing. If you're not a strong moderator, if you're a strong moderator and if you realize that there are two strong voices, then being the third voice in an argument is often, I mean, you just have to be strong. But what I felt like in my friend group was like, it would just be two people arguing in the group chat and everybody would just let it just rain and just go and go and go. And, even, and then you would talk to people after and they would agree and they're like, oh yeah, you make a good point and this and that. But it's never that in the moment. And so at a certain point you just go like, okay, well, this is just getting to it's just not going to change. And I'm trying to change people, and you can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, you can't. People are people. I mean, shoot. Anyway. So over this bed issue, basically that started as, okay, well, yeah, I would like everybody to have a bed. And then I'm being told by the planner of the event whose birthday aligns with the, time that we're going, which I just felt like, nah, that's not the way you do it. It's not. And, voicing that, I'm not sure if that was wrong. I'm not sure because on the one hand, I'm like, I ought to say how I feel. But on the other hand, I'm like, this is already a thing in motion. And so it's already going to go the way it's going to go. And now I'm thinking back on it like, it probably would have just been good that I just kind of just tipped my hat out and just said, you know what, I'm good, because I just didn't like the way it was being run. And instead of, lobbying my inquiries and saying, okay, I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to say, hey guys, well, how about we do it this way? Because my thing is like, I think there's a certain way you do trips like Vegas and whatnot. If you kind of go prepared, and then if you go prepared with a team that's prepared, and when I say prepared, you could like, again, maybe that's cliche or that's kind of like whatever, like corny or like whatever, but I'm like, I don't know, you go with a little bit of money, cool little bit that you could just kind of float on it and just roll. Like, I don't know. Like when I say roll, I mean be out there for just an entire night doing shit. Just getting into whatever. Mingling, talking. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then that's me saying this in light of, like, that's me saying this to a group who the last time they went to Vegas, I didn't go. And I'm just going to say it, man. Hey, that last Vegas trip was dog shit. Just going to say it. Just going to say it. There it is. Another one of those things that when I say, nobody pipes up who's there and be like, nah, bro, nah, it was lit. Nope. Everybody just be like, yeah. It's just like, and it was planned by the same person. So I'm like, it was planned by the same person. And so I just go, okay, we could have went a different way. And maybe I was overhanded in how I suggested about how we did that. Maybe I was too late. Yeah, I'll take that. And it's just unfortunate that now I'm not talking to the individual, especially who's planning the event, whose birthday it is that we were going to celebrate. But sometimes people just need time, bro. Like, sometimes people just need time, I think. Like, for real. You need to take time, stay in your corner, put work in, rise up, link back up, talk about the work you done put in, talk about the work you done put in, appreciate, praise each other, and be able to be in that space of like, we've had some space to not talk, and now we're so tired, we're so out of sync with how we want. We're so out of sync with the workplace and what we do on a daily basis because of, the wheels are falling off, figuratively speaking. And then when you talk to somebody that you haven't seen in a long time, and it just kind of recharges your batteries because, okay, you can tap into a different world. They're living a whole different life. Like, that's why, I don't know, man. I'm thinking heavily about traveling and living maybe out of California. but I'm not sure quite yet. I want to try some more spots in California for sure, and I have an opportunity to do so in a kind of cheap way. I don't want to give out my opportunity. I don't want to quite do so. And when I say opportunity to do so in a cheap way, I mean, and if you know me, like you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But basically, just I have this hookup to a studio system in which, well, they offer you 24-hour access, and you're able to rent out a space, and it's actually kind of growing in popularity, I would think, because they've got quite a lot of locations. And if I just kind of, you know, do what I do, treat that as a studio, and then I could kind of go cheap on my apartment, because at that point the apartment can be a lot cheaper, because it's more so a locker. It's more so just well, this holds my clothes, allows me to cook, allows me to shower, have some running water and whatnot, keep it clean. And it just allows me to kind of be a human, because the only issue with the studio hookup that I have, fuck that. Salute to Lockout Music Studios. Salute. I hope I'm gonna shout them out. I'm just gonna shout them out. They're good people. They're good, and they're a good service, and people should know about them. Like, I'm just thinking about it now. Like, it's so dumb. Like, why would I want to hold that to myself? Like, nah. If somebody's listening to this right now and they could use a 24-hour studio that could possibly even be coming to a local spot near you, Lockout Music Studios, bro. These are good people. Hit them up. But yeah, cheap out on the living sort of arrangement, and then get a 24-hour playhouse wherein I'm surrounded by other creative individuals that I could tap in with, network with, especially learn from, and just kind of just be away from, like, a lot of sort of day to day. I don't know, man. I just feel the other thing I've been saying I wanted to do since before the pandemic, like, is comedy. And I feel like, okay, if I get into some sort of major city or something like that, especially within this studio system, sort of something like that, yeah, man, I'm gonna try comedy. I'm just gonna really give it a shot, like on that comedy grind. Like, why not? Literally, yeah. I don't know. In other news, what else do I got? Yeah, I cannot see the screen at all. I am blind without my glasses. Personal information from California State University Chico students who requested a religious exemption from the COVID-19 vaccine have been posted online after apparent data breach. The requests from about 130 students who were dumped on an anonymous internet message board documenting approved and denied requests from CSU Chico students between June 7th and August 10th. A commenter on the site linked to an Excel spreadsheet with detailed explanations from students who had asked to be exempted from receiving the vaccine in order to attend the college. Students' names and phone numbers were included in many of the entries. Hey, prayers up to any unvaccinated youths trying to get an education in California. Prayers up. That's all I got to say. It is a scary time. They're trying to quite literally segregate people right in front of our eyes. It's like, that's what it is. And then in just trying to get an opportunity, a chance, hey, man, some people get fucked by the system. You got your information out, you got your phone number, get your name out. Yeah. It's pretty weird. But okay. Okay. Religious exemptions and medical exemptions, if you don't know, are apparently a mandate for the entirety of the Cal State university system. So prayers up to all the unvaccinated youths trying to get an education in California. An affordable one at that. It's going to be tough. I will say, though, that regulations are relaxing, at least as far as I'm aware of, in the community college system. They're relaxing, but I mean, they've allowed now on Valley College unvaccinated individuals. Hey, you guys can go for in-person classes. It's fine. I hope it's going to be statewide. Whenever you talk to actual long-term education providers, whatever, teachers, professors, principals, administrators, at least when I talk to them, yeah, they say, yeah, it's all about optics. I mean, I don't know if these people would admit this on live or anything like that, but it's a strange time. It is a strange time. Then there's the issue of having to make these schools more secure, which is just prayers up to all the kids that are going to school right now, that are in middle school and high school and elementary, just trying to make it. And now the zeitgeist has shifted into this weird state where it's prevalent and it's commonplace to see threats and shootings and other things directed at these schools. So, yeah, you guys are really having it tough for no reason other than when you were born. And you probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast, but prayers up to all of my student-aged peoples right now, including myself. I mean, universities are not exempt from this evil, as we've seen. And so it's but now it's in the air. It's like it's morbidity, dude. I don't know how I just got back to the morbidity. Like, hold up, let me play some. Hold up. Salute to Knowledge, man. His name isn't Knowledge Man. It's KNX on YouTube. It's Knowledge. I would love to slap together soul classics like this. I mean, you just listen to this. Vibey. Timely. Time link. Here, there. Supercharger. We're there. Got the kids in the back screaming, are we there? Said we been here. I'm just charging. Get your stuff. And we going to the park. Going to that raging water. Having a blast. Having a blast. Cause I ain't scared of water like my dad. Having a blast. Cause I'm getting in the water, unlike that. See, Dad was an old head. Came from a third world country where they did shit that you don't talk about to the grave head. Then you meet your maker and let him list it. Goddamn, kid. I'm vibing. I'm feeling myself. God damn. They're racing in the city and they going so fast. Never realized they lost their last. Lost their last laugh in the past. Never get it back. Chasing on that ass. Chasing on that dragon. Addicted to that feeling. Sad shit, but it's what the kids dealing. It's just the hand that they got. They playing it to the best of they top. That's their brain, by the way. Elon Musk, amidst the Dogecoin suing scandal thing, where, you know, this dude is basically getting sued for talking about a cryptocurrency that he was excited about and just happening to be as famous as he is. Amidst that, a letter from SpaceX has apparently come out to demonize the multi-CEO, distancing apparently many of SpaceX employees from the heavily charismatic. Wait, hold on. What does enigmatic mean? Siri. Damn it. Where's my phone? Okay, I don't have my phone. Okay. I can type it, but it's like my arm. Okay, hold on. Enigmatic. Hold on. What does that mean? Difficult to interpret or understand. Mysterious. No, but yeah, their charismatic leader has basically distancing themselves from his strange behavior and basically saying he's a dick. We don't like the way he acts, and we want people to rightly hold the abusers or the perpetrators of sexual assault accountable. I didn't know that Elon Musk wasn't doing that. I wasn't aware, but that's a legitimate claim. That's real. So, gotta listen to these people. And apparently the post was taken down, and some report, I don't know if this is confirmed to be true, but some report says that yes, all the people who signed the co-op or the letter, apparently it went around and was supposed to be signed so that it could get, you know, the support of the company. All the people who signed it are being looked for to be fired. Apparently, that's what I saw here in one of these articles. And I just gotta say, man, hey, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't got no motivators. Yeah. You know my name, not my story. You know his name, not his story. So you guys need to read up on Elon Musk's story. I don't know about all the, you know, like the letting off of sexual, you know, people who've committed sexual abuse. That's terrible. But you know his name, not his story. If I know anything about Elon, which is everything, he's a good guy. So he probably didn't do anything wrong ever. And we all should just stop looking at him in any sort of negative light. It's actually kind of weird. He's trying to get us to space. He's trying to put us into like another level of humanity, like the fucking the what do you call it? The proverbial butterfly hatched out of the caterpillar. We're the caterpillar, and this guy's like the first part of the metamorphosis that is really drastic, and it's crazy, and it's all up in the front, and we're all the legs all up in the bottom, and it's a thing. So, you know, yeah, free Elon, even though he's not in jail. And I hope all those SpaceX employees who may get fired and may not, but the ones who may get fired, I hope all of this was a hoax. Maybe this was just Elon Musk and all of his powerful wisdom simply saying, well, you know, I actually need some negative PR here. this is a pretty bad story about, one of my I believe it's, at least as far as I've heard, maybe one of his executives has been accused, or was it him? No. I believe the massage story. The massage story wherein he's asking for the happy endings or such, and yes, okay. I believe that's what people are referring to. There may be another story that people are referring to that I don't know about. But yes, no, I've heard about that. And so people are, yes, calling him, I guess, an abuser for that. I believe it was just the proposing, like the asking for sexual favors. And okay. So people want him to be held accountable, SpaceX employees in particular. And blessings to them people. I don't know if asking for a happy ending. Yeah, if the person's professional and that's what they do, they massage people. Full stop. You've got to respect that. You do have to respect that. But there are people who massage people and don't only do that. And at a billionaire's level, you would really expect. It's more like a dumb thing. It's more like a dumb, like you're being an idiot, asking this kind of person who's so serious and they're like very it's not likely. Like maybe they're pretty or something like that. I guess. But the idea that like as a billionaire you couldn't find like a pretty kind of on the line chick, like come on, like that's just a little silly, like right, like is that, I don't know. So that's more my take on it, is that it's just dumb. It's just like, okay, it's just bad behavior. It's just reckless. It's wild. He needs to do better, but we all do. I caveat that with we all do. You can't be out here just asking very serious professional masseuses if that's what they do. But, and I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying this is a thing. I mean, you can weed this out. Even as a regular person, you can weed out, you can filter out the experiences that you want out of the massage. You can do that. That's a thing. I mean, come on. So, I mean, I just have to imagine that, like, Elon Musk just has no couth, no cool, no swag, and you just hire any massage person, and then you just think, I'm Elon Musk, which, I could see how you could fall into that thinking for a moment, but man, it's just really dumb. It's fucking dumb, and you should not do that. But what do I know? Been losing frames over here. I definitely forgot to get the adapter that I was supposed to get to make this stream run better and have less dropped frames. I apologize for anybody who's watching the video. Nobody's been in the chat, twitch.tv/The Rambling Rogue Show. But this will be up on YouTube. YouTube! What up, YouTube? Speaking of YouTube, salute to DJ Academics. They tried to get my man out of here this week. And what can I say? What can I say about this one? I already talked about this on my Twitch stream and I didn't cut it out, but I want to cut it out in this instance. And I just want to state that first and foremost, as an adult over the age of 18, since it is a crime in most, I would say all of the contiguous states. I'm not exactly sure, but just, you should not be an adult over the age of 18. At 18, 19, maybe you get a grace period. 20 years old and over, you do not mess with anybody under the age of 18. Like, that is just, at least in my opinion, I just think that is, I would say 18, 19, just because it's like, okay, you're 19, like your girl, okay, like, come on, this happens. Like a freshman comes in and then you're a junior and then you just start dating a freshman. Like, I think in a time in American culture, maybe that would have been weird, but like coming up and like right now, like that it wasn't prevalent, but that happened. It happened. Like it did. So yeah, I really don't see much of an issue with that. But it is against the law. So you have to know that, hey, that is statutory, and you could just wait. Yeah, I mean, shoot, we always look towards the Kylie and Tyga. We look, there's famous cases of this. So academics made a comment basically a long time ago, apparently about 8 years ago, which puts that at 2015, wherein he's talking in his Twitch stream and he says something and I'm going to paraphrase terribly here, but something to the effect of, hey, in college, there's a gray area, so when we were DJing and whatnot, if we see a college ID, it don't matter if she's 17 to, it don't matter if there's like a gray area that is there once you see the college ID. This was what he was saying. He was talking, number one, 8 years ago, like in his mid 20s, about times in his early 20s to late teens about being in college and basically saying, okay, well, I'm like a frisky young, like I'm a, promiscuous young cat. And, it in context, it still is statutory. You're still in that moment condoning statutory, and that's wrong. That is wrong. But I think there could be a very rational and level-headed conversation about, hey, number one, there are situations that you can see pop up wherein somebody who's like at the age of 19 is dating somebody who's like 16, 17. It happens. I mean, if we're gonna just say that we've never seen it, I just and then here's the thing. When I say it happens, and people in those times, they do not rear their head and say this or that. These people go to their prom with their significant other that is younger than them. I mean, I remember clowning the dudes that did that. I clowned them. We clowned them. Cause it's weird. Like, it's like, bro, like, what the fuck? Are you taking this bitch to school? Like what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's weird, but we did it. But it's not like pitchforks were raised and we got to get this guy. Like, he's doing a thing. Like, it wasn't. It's not the culture on it. At least when they were about 18, 19, about even 20 with a senior. Yeah, we saw that, I believe. I mean, I'm just looking at it and going, I'm like, and not me, but. We definitely, I don't know. It's just one of those things where he was talking about being at around that weird gray area age. That's what it was. He wasn't talking about being 30 years old and then you step up on a college campus and I'm talking about, oh, if I see a college ID, you get, nah, that's not what it is. And apparently that's what, I didn't see this, but a lot of news media outlets were making it seem like. And so... And that's what they'll do. I mean, once you get to a certain level of popularity, it's the natural effect. People are just going to also hate you. That's just real. And we've seen that time and time again. So it is weird. It's a weird topic. It's a weird convo. It's a weird thing. It's weird as hell. And again, I don't condone anybody. Like, bruh, if you're already 18, just look for 18-year-olds. Whatever. If you get into a situation where like you're 18, 19, like, hey, maybe you were at a party or hey, maybe you were even in the club. See, that's that right there is the very interesting one. Because now the clubs are 21 and over, right? But see, if you're now 21 and you're a young guy and you meet a girl in the club and she's cool initially, right? And whatever. Number one, just seeing her in the club already, you just assume that she's old enough to be in the club. But quite literally, it is on us to check and to be actually certain if that is the case. Because it could be not the case. It could be not the case. And then it's your fault. And I'm saying that happens too. And I feel like just those kind of situations should definitely be brought up when we have these conversations of that weird gray area age from like 17 to about 20, because it is strange. This is a weird conversation. I feel weird. I hooked up with an older lady this week, and it was cool actually. But the breaking point was, I ain't gonna lie, like I just she suggested that we go into a motel, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't because you know what it was? It's just like, okay, like I like, dude, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, I just was like, yo. Like, I pumped the brakes. Like, I was in my head, I was like, yo, I am in a lot of debt. Like, a lot. Like, what am I doing right now? Like, I need to, like, even just the time spent right here as we're, doing whatever we're doing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, getting it, you know what I'm saying? Like, even in that time, I could be driving home right now. You know how much of a value it is to be driving home? You know how much of a value it is to like be driving home, that I could make it home on time so that I could leave the next day on time? Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, anyway, I just feel like I was being too impulsive, and I was getting away from my purpose, my path, my determination, from my everything. And it's not all women that'll do that. I'm not trying to put that. And I'm not trying to say that one woman was bad or anything like that. I'm just trying to simply state that it was not a situation that I could entertain at the moment. It just wasn't. And then also there's some peripherals around it with like just some people that just mutuals and blah, blah. It's very, as the kids say, it's very messy. I don't like that. So it's just like, nah, I don't even want to, no. It's just, I'm cool. So, yeah, I say that all to say, I don't know. I think I'm done. Yeah, I started this on the academics rant. Yo, man, academics though. What else could there be? What else is there to be said about academics? Academics, I think he put himself into a strange position that he could be called out for something that was very weird later on. But he was parsing out a difficult conversation even at the time, because he was talking about the relationship with, again, Kylie Jenner and Tyga. And here's a relationship we're in. Again, yeah, we did all watch a 17-year-old go out with a well into his 20s dude. We watched it. Like it's not even like we knew it happened and it was like, oh, that's insane. Nick, no, they're on reality TV. They're out just chilling. They're on Instagram just chilling. Like, bruh, what is this? And maybe not reality TV. I don't know if he was actually on the show. Don't get me on that. But I'm just saying, I know we was seeing him on Instagram. And then it always brings me back to Bad Baby. Because the same thing. Young Bands is my age mate. Around my age. 22, 23, 24. I'm sure that is his age. Duke was definitely pictured in a bed, half naked, with that 17-year-old at the time girl. And we do not talk about this. Oh, but she was emancipated and this and that. And well, hey, man, that's all good and dandy. But I'm just saying, can we also bring that up when we also, like, because, bruh, if we, so where did the emancipated shit go? Where then when you hear like academics talk about a 20, 21-year-old academics, 19, 20, 21-year-old, and this dude's talking about being with college ID, and if we see the college IDs, then it's fuck it. Nigga, isn't that the same thing? Well, she's emancipated, this and that. So, but no, all of that goes right out the window when we trying to demonize. Hey, I ain't even gonna say, I ain't even trying to mess my promotion up in the algorithm, but you see the color of my shirt. You know what I'm saying? When they go after us, come on, man. You know what it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's just my 2 cents. Talking shit. I don't really know. Kind of just shooting from the hip. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It is what is. It is what is. All right. make good sexual decisions. Just go out into the world. Don't you just do it. You just choose your partners wisely. You don't put it. And man, kicking my dick in my pants. Fun line, great song. Not a good way to live at all. Okay. Hey, I love anybody watching. Much appreciated. Salute to you. Much thanks. You got my heart. I'm gonna put this up on YouTube. Try to clip it out, but if I don't, I don't. I'm not gonna get into a fuss about it. But that is all I got, though. I did have no. Elon, data breach, yeah. My own shit. That's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. That's it. Just hot air. Just talking. That's him, man. That's it.